Hello and welcome to my show Indus Cuisine, and I'm your chef Basim Akhund. We're back with a new episode from the heart of Pakistan. Today's recipe is very interesting and we're making Haryali chicken. Now you might be thinking, what does Haryali mean and why is he calling it chicken? So chicken basically is mostly known as chicken in Pakistan, even if you go to the local butcher. Why? Because it is a very common word over here, and Haryali basically means something which is green. So we're basically making a green chicken curry, but which is completely Pakistani. Why? Because in Pakistan we use a lot of spices and a lot of other vegetables which are freshly found. So what are the ingredients for today's recipe? And these ingredients are very easily available in the market around you. And even if you live in the West and not in Pakistan, you will easily find them. Why? Because these ingredients are something that you can buy off the shelf or the counter of any nice supermarket or hyperstore. The vegetables which we shall be using today are green onions, normal red onions. You'll be using around 2 big tomatoes. You'll be using fresh coriander and fresh mint leaves. Now you need to remember one thing, that the mint leaves and the coriander needs to be fresh. You cannot use the dried version for this recipe. Then you'll be using a cup of oil. You'll be using some ginger garlic, which needs to be very fresh. Then you need some cumin seeds, some coriander powder, salt to taste, some lemon juice. I have 2 pieces of lemon. I'll be using one and one shall be used later on, and around 8 to 10 pieces of fresh green chili. Now this recipe is very easy. It's a one-pot recipe. How shall we go about it? I'll let you know. But first we need a pan for this recipe. So I shall start this recipe in a pan, and then I shall convert the recipe into a wok. Why? Because later on when we need to create the gravy, we need the wok so that we can control the evaporation. You could say the flatter the base of anything you're cooking on, the chances of evaporation of the moisture of the food is more. Why? Because the heat is distributed and the water is completely straight. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll bring the pan to heat, and I've increased the heat completely. And now what we shall do is we shall start cutting some vegetables. Firstly, what do we need? We need 2 onions for this recipe, which we shall finally chop, and then we shall add to the food processor, but later on. So what can you see over here? The onions are not large but medium sized, and we need to keep the root on for this recipe. What I'll do is firstly I shall just finely slice the onion, keeping the root intact, and then we'll keep the root on the side. Slowly and gradually it will take you a long way, remember that. And just keep the root on the side. You do not want to use the root. Why? Because the root is usually very sharp in flavor, and what happens is when you use the root, it gives you very strong flavor in the food. And also the other reason is that the root takes a lot of time to go down. When I say go down, that means that it takes time in getting soft. Okay, the onion is done. What I'll do is I'll just take the root of the 2 onions I've used, and I'll throw it in the dustbin. Always remember to keep your counter very clean. And now what I'll do is I shall just take a little bit of oil. Right now I shall just use half a cup. When the half cup is done, the pan is super hot. I shall just transfer the onions in the wok. I shall make the onions light brown, not too hard, remember that, and keep this on the side. Now to save time, what I'll do is I shall also take another pan, but before that I shall add around a 1/4 teaspoon of salt so that the onion starts sweating nicely. Mix it up properly. And as you can see, the onions are properly coated. I'll take a rubber spatula, spread it out properly in the pan so that each piece of the onion gets a proper chance of frying individually. When this is done, what I'll do is I'll just shift it over here and I shall give it a lid. Now what do we need? We need another pan. We'll pick up the pan and we shall now continue with the recipe. Increase the heat, bring it to full, and the pan needs to be super hot. Now what I'll do is I'll pick up 2 tomatoes. The 2 tomatoes are over here. Keep them on the side like this, and just take the eye of the tomato out first. I'm showing you that we're using bigger tomatoes today. Why? Because we need the texture for this and we need the flavor for the recipe. What I'll do is I shall just cut the tomatoes into 4 halves and make it into quarters. Turn it around and now just let it sit over here. Now what you need to do is you need to add oil to the hot pan, and once that's done, keep it on the side. Now as you can see, the pan is completely hot. What I'll do is I'll transfer the tomatoes over here. Now I'm not throwing the tomatoes, I am placing them very carefully in front of you. Why? Because I want to fry them on high heat for at least 2 minutes after I give it a lid. Once the lid is on, I shall count around 2 minutes each side and let it fry so that the tomatoes get a nice flavor. Now till the time this is cooking, what we'll do, we'll come on this side, shift it over here, and as you can see over here, the onions are nicely partially brown. I'll reduce the heat so that the onions don't go completely brown. I need them to be partially brown to maintain a nice flavor. What I'll do now is I'll take a plate firstly, which is at the back, and transfer all the onions out just momentarily. Remember that. Pick the onions, press them on the side slowly, and transfer them. Now the onions are fried. The tomatoes now have to turn the side. So what I'll do is I shall just take a paring knife and turn it on the other side so that both the sides get a nice heat so that they cook properly. Slowly and gradually. And this is done. Now give this a lid and let it cook for 2 minutes more on high heat. Why? Because I want the tomatoes to start collapsing. On the other hand, what we'll do is now we shall make some ginger and garlic paste. Now if you say paste, what do you mean? It means something which is completely into a paste-like texture. But if you do not have a paste machine, what you can do is you can always take the thinner side of the shredder. What I'll do is I shall just shred the ginger slowly, and then I shall do the garlic. So till the time I'm doing this, we'll go for a short break, and once we're back, I'll let you know what to do next. Don't go anywhere. Keep watching Indus Cuisine. Welcome back. You're watching Indus Cuisine and I'm your chef Basim Akhund. During the break, I just shredded the ginger and garlic. Now what I'll do is over here, it's been more than 2 minutes. We shall now get ready with the tomatoes. So what I'll do is I'll bring the processor over here. Over here you can see there is some shredded garlic. Just wipe your knife clean. And over here you can see there is some ginger. Okay, now what I'll do is I shall just take the tomatoes and transfer all of them over here. So just poke them, and as you can see, it's nicely cooked. It's falling from the knife, which means it's partially soft. So slowly and gradually it will take you a long way. Remember that. Do not hurry, because if you hurry too much, you will ruin the whole texture of the food. Just poke it up and transfer it over here. Now you will not waste the oil in which the tomatoes were cooked. Why? Because the oil has also taken a red color. The camera cannot see it, but that color is also flavor. Remember that. Now I shall just put this up over here and process it into a super fine paste. When this is done, what I'll do is now I shall pick up the onion over here and transfer all of this into this. Now you don't need this plate goes on the side. And now what I shall do is just take some green chilies, around 8 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 pieces, and just take the stems out like this. Now you take the sticks out slowly and add these green chilies into the tomato paste to give it a nice paste-like texture. So what I'll do is I'll pick this up, transfer it over here, give it a lid and process it until it's super fine. The green chilies and everything is done. I'll keep this on the side just in front of you, and now what we shall do is we shall change the pans. The pans go on the side and we bring a wok in now. The wok comes over here. I keep it on high heat, increase the heat to full and transfer the oil over here. The oil from the bigger pan goes in, and the oil in which we fried the tomatoes also go in. Now this is done. Now we do not need both these pans. I shall just keep them on the side, give it a lid and let them rest momentarily. Okay, now we shall start cooking. Now there's a lot of oil over here. What we shall do first is we shall add the ginger paste, which we shredded and got, and then the garlic, which is also shredded. Now I shall just cook it till you get around 30 to 40 seconds on high heat. The pan is going to come to heat, and then we shall start counting. Why? Because I do not want to burn the ginger and garlic, but I want the oil to get a very nice flavor of all the ginger and garlic which we're using today. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll take another 1/4 teaspoon of salt, mix it in, and slowly and gradually let it fry. Now it's been around 40 seconds. What I'll do is I shall add something else to this. Now firstly we shall add the paste which we processed over here, transfer it and take out as much as you can. We need to fry the paste, remember that. So just quickly mix it like this so that the oil basically goes into this. Now as you can see that the oil is not completely mixed, but it's partially mixed, which gives this a chance to fry properly. Give this a lid and let it cook for a minute. I'll keep this on the side now and we shall just clean up, and then I'll let you know what to do next. So as you can see, the oil has come up and the tomatoes are properly cooked. Now what we'll do is we shall basically get ready with the chicken. We are using around 1/2 kilogram of the chicken boneless. I'll be using my paring knife for this. Cut from the center, take the center fillet out just like this, slowly and gradually. Just follow the muscle and keep it on the side. This goes on the side, we'll be using it, but before that we shall cut this into small pieces in front of you. The pieces need to be at least an inch thick so that you get the proper texture. Why? Because when the chicken will be cooked, what will happen is that the chicken will start shrinking, and when the chicken shrinks, it obviously loses its size. So if you cut it too small, when you try eating it in a meal, you won't get the perfect texture which you require. So it takes time, but this is what I do. I'll teach you so that we can go step by step. If the chicken is thicker, keep in mind that you still have to maintain the thicker rule, which is 1 inch. Now the fillets I just kept on the side. These are basically also known as the undercut of the chicken. Why? Because it is the most tender part and it cooks the quickest. Now we have the chicken over here. What I'll do is I shall just pick the chicken up, transfer it over here into the tomato gravy, and as you might be thinking that where is the green for this recipe, I shall show you. I shall rinse my hands once and then I shall continue with the recipe further. So as you can see, the chicken is over here. What I'll do is I'll increase the heat now and I'll start folding it in the sauce. Now the chicken will not be cooked in such a thick gravy. What we need to do is basically bring green out. So first mix it properly, because as you can see I've been adding salt very less. So I'll add another 1/4 teaspoon. Why? Because the more salt you add step by step, the ingredient which you add with it also loses moisture. So slowly and gradually mix it. And remember, the chicken will also lose its flavor. Now what I'll do is I shall just give it a lid and let this cook for 3 to 4 minutes on medium heat. So till the time this is cooking, what we'll do is we shall get ready with all the green things. What do we need for this recipe? We need around 3 pieces of the spring onions, also known as green onions. We shall just take the green part over here, wash it thoroughly, remember that, and take the bulbs also. So what I'll do is I'll take the bulbs. You don't need this. This goes in the dustbin over here. And reduce the heat to low now. Do not overcook the gravy. You have to bring the jug in front, add the bulbs, add the green parts, and keep it at the back. Now what do you need? You need some greens. What I'll do first is I shall take the mint leaves, because this is basically baby mint, so the stems are very soft. I shall just add it like this over here, and then what I shall do is I shall take around ½ a bunch, which should be equal to 1 cup of coriander and add it over here. Now you need to understand one thing, that why have I put it in water? If you add water and keep the greens or the herbs like flowers, they will start getting happier. Now when I say happier, that means that they will look fresh, and it also increases their table life. Okay, now what I'll do is I shall add 2 cups of water. Why? Because the chicken needs water to cook, you must remember that, and put it over here. The water goes in, and I shall convert this into a super fine paste. You must remember this. Keep the lid on and convert it into a paste. Once it's done, just take the lid off and transfer all of this over here. Now you might be thinking I have not added the spices till now. Why? Because for this you need to add the spices on a later stage. Transfer all of this over here. And as you can see, it needs to be a super fine paste. Do not leave any pieces in it. Okay, now start mixing it. It has a very nice reddish green texture. Some people avoid the tomatoes also, but the tomatoes give this recipe a very nice aroma, and the curry feels more delicious even. So slowly and gradually mix it. Now it's the time where we shall add the spices. What I'll do is I shall take some cumin, but for that what I'll do is I shall add half a cup of water over here. Take the cumin, transfer it over here, and then we shall take 1 lemon, which shall have around, you could say, 2 tablespoons of juice. Cut it into half and take it over here and squeeze it into the cumin seeds. Now you might be thinking, why is he doing this? Because back in the day when it wasn't done in a food processor, what we used to do is we used to take a pestle and a mortar and press it and convert it into a nice fine paste, or a very nice smooth textured like thing. So now give it a lid and process it into a super fine paste. Now as you can see, the cumins have broken down. This is what I need, because this will give a very nice flavor. Mix it up so that all the cumin which is sticking to the jug goes in. Now we'll give this a lid, keep it on the side, do not wash it with all the other things. Why? Because you can damage it. Okay, now just mix it up, give it a chance to absorb all the flavor, transfer all the coriander powder in, and now let this cook for at least 10 minutes. So now till the time this is cooking, what we shall do is clean up, and then I shall show you the final look of the recipe. Don't go anywhere, keep watching Indus Cuisine. So as you can see, today's recipe is ready. It was quick and easy, and I've served only for 1 person. I've cooked for at least 5 people. The remaining food is over here. I'm still, trying to cook it more. Why? Because I like my gravy a little thick. So you can understand one thing by this. If you want your gravy to be a bit runny, you take it out after 10 minutes. If you want it to be a little thick, take it out after 15 minutes. I'll see you in another episode of Indus Cuisine. Take care of yourself, lovely people. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.